There's been some absolutely fantastic TV lately, like absolutely fantastic TV lately. And one of the best, not the best, but one of the best shows I've seen in the last year or so has been HBO's and DC's Penguin series. I've absolutely loved it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And there's been a lot of talk about whether or not HBO would actually continue on and do a season 2 of the Batman spinoff of Penguin. And we've been getting a lot of negative indications lately. Like we heard from Kristen Milioti, who was absolutely fantastic in the show, saying that she has her doubts it'll happen. We've been hearing Colin Farrell saying, what's the point? I mean, we did it. We're tempting fate too much if we do a second one. I doubt we'll do a second one, all that kind of stuff. So the kind of assumption that's been going around lately is that, well, there's probably not going to be a Penguin season 2. But hold the phone. Because now HBO's CEO is saying, "Oh no, we're still thinking about Penguin season 2." This comes to us from the folks over at The Direct who wrote the following. According to one high-ranking HBO executive, the CEO, the Batman TV sequel is still on the table. Matt Reeves' The Batman wowed audiences back in 2022, debuting its grounded and gritty take on the world of the Dark Knight on the big screen. Reeves would continue this exploration in Gotham City canon in 2024 with the acclaimed Penguin TV series. Penguin, which saw the Batman star Colin Farrell return to reprise his role as the show's titular DC Comics villain, was considered by fans to be a single-season miniseries. But the assumption that there were no further plans for future episodes. That tune has started to change in recent months. HBO CEO Casey Bloys provided the latest update on a potential The Penguin Season 2 during a recent content update from the premium cable network, I should say, revealing that conversations are still ongoing for a second batch of episodes from the Batman spinoff. As transcribed by Screen Rant, we are talking to the DC team about what a second season of The Penguin would look like. All right. Look, I get it. There are a lot of people out there who kind of feel like, dude, season 1 was great. Let's leave it alone. There's no need, I hear from people. There's no need to do a second season of it. Move on. I personally wholeheartedly reject that thinking. I totally reject that thinking. Making a great TV show is, I would say, primarily about the characters you're creating and the characters you're exploiting. Because it's the characters that people follow. There's other things too. I'm just saying in general. Like a great example for me that I always bring up a lot is Supernatural. Was every season of Supernatural have a killer story? No. Many seasons did. Some seasons did not. But I still loved watching those seasons. Why? Because I tuned into Supernatural to hang out with the Winchester boys. That's why I tuned in. I tuned in to hang out with Castiel and to hang out with Crowley and to hang out, with all the Bobby when he was around. I loved the characters and I just wanted to follow along with the characters. The suggestion for me that there's nowhere left to go for Penguin's story, to me, is ridiculous. That doesn't mean you have to do a season 2. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're stupid if you think they shouldn't do a season. I'm not saying that. But what I will say is that some of the explanations I don't buy. There's nothing left to tell. Really? There's no more exciting, interesting, deep stories to tell of this character brought to life by Colin Farrell, who is now like the crime lord of Gotham? Really? You think there's no more stories to tell there? Fascinating. Also, you're telling me people wouldn't love just seeing more of Colin Farrell in this role that won him a bunch of awards? Now, does any of that stuff automatically mean you must do another season of Penguin? It does not. It does not mean they must. And it's okay if they don't do one. But I think HBO, and apparently HBO thinks this too, you'd be fools not to at least pursue the possibility. Because this show was fantastic. And it's like any other sequel thing. A lot of people say, oh, if you do sequels, you just ruin the original. You know what? I'm so glad the people who made Toy Story never said that. Because when they made Toy Story 2, they were going to make it a direct-to-home video thing, right? Because it's like, you're risking ruining the first one. But they made Toy Story 2, which for a long time was the highest critically rated film of all time. For a long time, it was the only wide-release Hollywood film that held, over years, a 100% rating. I don't know if it still does. Somebody might have went in there to put in a negative review. But anyway, for a long time, Toy Story 2 was it. And then when they announced they're going to do Toy Story 3, everybody was like, you're going to ruin Toy Story. Just leave it alone. Toy Story 2 was perfect. The ending was perfect. Why do another one? Well, you do another one because you have a great idea for a story. Because you have beloved characters that you think you can do some really fun and interesting and entertaining things with. That you've come up with a hook for those characters and a new adventure for them. So instead of listening to all the naysayers, they made Toy Story 3. And thank God they did, because it's one of only 3 animated films in all of history to actually get nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And it was fabulous. And all those people said, don't do Toy Story 3, it'll ruin it. So then they said they're going to do Toy Story 4. And once again, you're going to ruin it. Toy Story 3 is perfect. Didn't you say that about Toy Story 2? Yeah. But now it's Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is a perfect ending. And it was a perfect ending. I'm not denying that. Why do another one? Because they came up with another idea. To utilize these wonderful characters that people want to see more of. And while Toy Story 4 was not as good as Toy Story 3, hell, I would say, if you're ranking the 4 Toy Story movies, I think Toy Story 4 is in last. But it was still quite good. I really enjoyed Toy Story 4. And it made a lot of money. And now they're making Toy Story 5. Anyway, I go into all that just to say, why do another Penguin? Well, because people loved it. It was absolutely fabulous. And there are plethora. Do you know what a plethora is? Oh, yes, I know what a plethora is. Bonus marks if you know that. There are a plethora of stories to tell with these characters that could be fabulous and awesome. So again, do they need to do another Penguin? No, you don't need to. But would it be a good idea to pursue it? If you can come up with the right story, 100% they should do another one. And I will be there with bells on. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Do you like the idea that the head of HBO is saying, yeah, we still are interested in Penguin Season 2? Now, it doesn't mean it's automatically going to happen, but I think it would be great if it did. Anyway, whatever you guys feel, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.